Hello everyone, today I'm going to be doing a little video about Beltane. Beltane is celebrated on the 1st of May or the 30th of April. 1st of May you may know as May Day, and that's where many of the modern May Day customs come from, such as dancing around the maypole. The maypole is a large, pole or branchless tree trunk which has a wreath of flowers placed around the top with ribbons that hang down, and then people dancing around the pole hold the ribbons and weave in and out to make a pattern with the ribbons. This is a fertility symbol. The upright pole symbolising the phallus and the energy force in nature, and the wreath on top and the ribbons representing the womb and the growth force and nurturing. That may not be obvious as a fertility symbol, but it's what it is, even though you probably more associate it with church fetes at different times of the year. Well, Beltane is traditionally the time of the wedding of the goddess and god, who the goddess is in her mother aspect at this time, and the goddess and the god is the father. They are married at this time, and so it's a traditional time for handfastings, which is a kind of pagan wedding, and this involves the hands of the couple being tied together like so, and is where you probably get the term tying the knot from, because they're bound together with cords or ribbons or whatever. And handfastings can last for any amount of time, so people can be married for a year and a day, a lifetime, or for all of time. And the dancing around the maypole is one way of finding a partner if you don't have a partner at the time of Beltane. Well, that was the tradition anyway. Whether people still practice that, I don't know. It's probably slightly frowned upon today. In times past, you traditionally wear green to announce your intentions, and then at the night time you'd go into the woods with your new partner and consummate that relationship. And another tradition of this time, as I'm trying to read through my notes so I don't forget anything this time, is for young people to process through the town with flowers to be distributed to decorate the homes. And a traditional flower of this time is the hawthorn blossom, and it's considered unlucky to bring hawthorn into the house before May Day. And also to reflect the nature aspect of this festival, a deity associated with Beltane is that of the Green Man. He is the figure that you traditionally see as a human face, but like either made of leaves or decorated with leaves, traditionally oak leaves or all the leaves of the forest or whatever. And he is a nature spirit, and so at this time that is very nature orientated, he is a specific deity, and you can see carvings of the Green Man in very old churches in the woodwork or the rafters, and in some places there are green women as well, which are also nature spirits. Another tradition associated with Beltane was, in old times they used to light two fires on hilltops which would be stoked with herbs to create a very pungent, fragrant smell, and cattle would be driven through to purify them and to ensure a good milk yield in the year to come. And people would also go through these fires to be purified and be blessed with fertility. Another tradition associated with fires at Beltane is jumping the bellfire, which when doing that you jump over a small fire, obviously, 'cause you wouldn't want to get burnt, and then make a wish for the year to come, like luck or wisdom or whatever. Traditionally, the Belfire was stoked with 9 woods, which are willow, hazel, alder, ash, birch, yew, elm, rowan and oak. And these are the 9 woods of the forest. And note it's alder and not elder that is used in the stoking of the fire, because elder is the lady's tree, and as it says in the Wiccan Read, elder be the lady's tree, burn it not or cursed you'll be. And so it's traditional not to burn elder at this time because it's sacred. Other traditions associated with Beltane. I don't know if I mentioned this, but Beltane is also the time a May Queen is appointed, as I mentioned in my video on Ostara, and she is appointed and is given a headdress of flowers, and it's sort of to represent the spirit of the festival, and she then has to choose her consort, so this kind of represents the goddess and god for the day. And unfortunately the tradition of the May Queen picking her consort has sort of died out in modern culture and has just left us the May Queen or the Flower Queen, which is quite sad. And these days the May Queen isn't seen to represent anything other than a girl being appointed to wear flowers for the day, and I think that's really sad that the pagan traditions haven't survived as strongly as they probably should. To finish off, I would like to read to you again from A Witch's Bible by Janet and Stuart Farrar, because they give interesting accounts of some ways to celebrate Beltane, or ways that people have celebrated Beltane in fairly recent times, really. It says here, folk memory survives in curious ways. A Dublin friend, a good Catholic in his 50s, tells us that when he was a boy in North County Longford, his father and mother used to take the children out at midnight on May Eve, and the whole family would dance naked in the young crops. The explanation the children were given was that this would protect them against catching colds for the next 12 months. But it would be interesting to know whether the parents themselves believed this to be true, or were really concerned with the fertility of the crops, and were giving the children a respectable explanation in case they talked, particularly in the local priest's hearing. And there, to link with the aspect of the priest in that story, there is a part of a poem they've used in their Beltane ritual, which is from it's verse 5 of Rudyard Kipling's poem A Tree Song from Welland's Sword, and it says, "Oh, do not tell the priest of our art, for he would call it a sin, but we shall be out in the woods all night a conjuring summer in, and we bring you news but by word of mouth for women, cattle and corn. Now is the sun come up from the south with oak and ash and thorn." With oak and ash and thorn. And the obviously do not tell the priest of our art is obviously in reference to going into the woods at night, whether to gather flowers or other things, and watching the sunrise on Beltane is traditional. Another tradition of Beltane I would just like to finish with is the washing of the face in the Beltane dew in the morning, because that is said to bring beauty to the skin and to the face, and it'd be interesting to know whether it works or not. It's an interesting kind of folk magic, I think. That is all about Beltane, and no matter whatever time of year you're watching this at, have a happy Beltane. Blessed be. Goodbye.
We are the old people, we are the new people, we are the same people, younger than before, younger than before, younger than before. We are the same people, younger than before. We are the old people, we are the new people, we are the same people, stronger than before, stronger than before.